Hutchie, you started the year a premiership player, something different than last year. Did you feel now you are best 22, one of the guys that gets picked every week? Do you feel like you've made it now?
I wouldn't say I've made it, but yeah, premiership player has a nice ring to it, that's for sure. It's good to start pre-season like that, and yeah, been training well. So thankfully, no setbacks, and been pretty smooth for myself and a lot of the group. So yeah, I think if I play my best, then I'll be in the team. But it's not entirely up to me. It's up to the coaches. But yeah, all I can do, what I've done my whole career since I've been 7 or 8, is try my best every training session and every game. So that's being a premiership player. That hasn't changed for me, and will never change. So it's been good so far. But yeah, it's 2019. It's a new year, and got a new campaign ahead of us.
Does it give you some belief though? Do you feel like you've proved something to yourself that at that level in a game of that magnitude that you belong and you can succeed?
Yeah, it certainly gives, to be a premiership player gives you a bit more credibility, I feel. And for me, yeah, it sort of justifies all the training that you do, and proves to yourself that if you put the work in, you can be a part of something special and get the results. So that's what happened last year, and gives you certainly a little bit of confidence, a bit more confidence in your ability to play at the highest level and to perform and be a good player at the highest level. So yeah, certainly riding that wave from last year, and yeah, it's been a good start, as I said.
So Jack read the other day about stars and role players. You're one of those role players. What role do you see for yourself in the midfield in 2019?
I think everyone's a role player. I think just your role is different. So JK's role is to kick goals, and my role is to run with the best player from the other team. So everyone's a role player certainly now in our club. Some just get the limelight a lot more, and I'm the way, or what Simo presents to me, and what he wants me to do, I just embrace it as much as possible, and set myself little goals and challenges, and I certainly get a lot of enjoyment out of that on game day.
Are you just signed a new contract, or you're about to, or what's your situation?
Yeah, so triggered another year at the end of last season for 2019, which was good. The 5-year request got knocked back, unfortunately. But we're not all the McGoverns of the world. So, yeah, as I said, don't look too far ahead. Yeah, the industry is pretty brutal, pretty brutal industry. You got to, and it's ruthless, very competitive, both within each club and between clubs. So, yeah, I'm enjoying the moment, and if I do that, I'm sure it'll all work out fine.
Does it help some younger players living on the edge like that?
No, not for me. I'm motivated whether I have a 5-year deal or a 1-year deal. Doesn't matter to me. So that's just the way I've sort of been programmed ever since I started playing footy. And most players, they're in it for the love of the game. They're in it to get the best out of themselves, and all that sort of stuff works itself out.
So you said the triggered, is that because you played a certain amount of games, or because you did a certain amount of things, or what triggers that? Yeah,
there's a number of things. So yeah, played a certain amount of games over the last couple of seasons, and yeah, it sort of rewards consistency that if you can be a part of the team over the 2 seasons, and yeah, sort of triggered this year. So.
And would you be hoping that if you have another year like you did last year, you maybe get a bit more security 2-3 years next time? Yeah,
always. As I said, it's a ruthless industry, and yeah, it's always good to have multiple years, multiple year contracts. Gives you a little bit of insurance, a bit of a buffer. So yeah, but it's up to me to prove my worth, perform, show the club that I'm a valuable asset to the club, and can help the footy team win games. So that's sort of my job.
How many games, if you don't mind us asking, how many games did you have to play to activate the trigger?
I better not say.
Did you find yourself counting the games?
Not really. No, I kind of got in a groove where I thought, as I said, when you perform well, the team's playing well, that all sort of stuff takes care of itself. So maybe early on you are, and then you kind of just realise that worrying about it's not really going to change anything. And so, yeah, it's just something that I sort of put to the side, parked it, and focused on enjoying my football, and it was very enjoyable last year.
Obviously, something that can change how many games you play, as well as performance, is injury. Do you worry more about injury if you're on one-year deals that have to be activated by triggers?
Oh, certainly. Injury is part of the profession, and yeah, you don't leave yourself much breathing room if you are on one-year deals. And touch wood, those things can happen, and yeah, it ends careers. So that's why all players would want multiple-year contracts. So yeah, I mean, not much I can do, but perform well.
Just on your role, has anything changed in the last couple of years with running with players or tagging players that you've noticed and you've had to work on, or is it pretty much the same as it always been?
Yeah, I think I personally had to improve my running and lighten up a little bit. Given the interchange cap, there's less rotations, so you're on the field a little bit longer. So you have to be able to survive those stints out there, and it's a running game. Footy's a running game, so I had to sacrifice a little bit of body mass and strength around the footy to improve my running. So that's probably a change that I needed to make. And yeah, I mean, tactics. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the 6-6-6 rule will go this year, but players are certainly moving around a lot more out there. Those strategies and tactics come into play, and you've got to be prepared for those. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C when you're out there. So yeah, a little bit of tactics, but manage your fitness and yeah, improving the running to keep up with, because all the best midfielders, or most of them, are very good runners and very smart with how they run. So you've got to be able to keep up with that.
Is it a goal for you to maybe transition eventually from a tagging role to a standard midfielder?
Oh yeah, I mean, you always dream of having 30 and kicking a few goals, but it's up to Simo and what he wants. And given that I did a few jobs last year, I don't know if he wants to change it too much. But yeah, I mean, it's always good when you get your hands on the footy, and that's what footy is all about. You always, as a kid, you're training to get the ball as much as possible and run around and kick goals. So that was me growing up. But in the AFL, there's roles for everyone and different, depending on what the coach wants. So that's my role so far, the last few years, and probably in the moving forward as well. So that's all I need to focus on.
We heard a lot about players getting PBs. Were you one of the ones who put up PBs coming back this pre-season? Well,
I shot myself in the foot a little bit. My first season, I've run, well, when I was 21, first season at the club, I ran my best time ever, and sort of drifted out a little bit as I got a bit heavier and put on a bit of muscle, and then I've brought it back very close to what it was. So didn't run a PB personally, but there were a few boys that have, yeah, flying around the track, and especially the younger boys setting the standard. They're very hungry. It's very competitive out there. So it's a good sign coming off a premiership that so many PBs from the young fellas and also fellas that have been around 4 or 5 years. So good signs for the squad and the group, and that's what we need from everyone.
How is your body at the moment, Mark? Are you okay?
Yeah, all good. All good for me.
We didn't see you. Did you train this morning at Lathlane?
Yeah, I did. You might not have seen me, but I was out there.
On the training this morning, you're out there with Tom Hickey and Nathan Vardy. How do you think they're going to go for main ruckman?
Yeah, so Nick Nats will miss the start of the season. Hopefully get him back as quick as possible. And then Vards, yep, he's been training very well. He's improved his ruck craft again this pre-season, so he'll be good. And we've got Hickey over from Saints, obviously, because to fill the void of Nick early on in the season, and then hopefully for him going forward, he can play forward, which is handy for him. And we've got Keegan Brooksby as well, and Ozzy Allen. So we've got a few boys plying their trade through there and working on their skills. But yeah, Vards and Hickey are looking good, and have done most of the or Vardy certainly has, and he has certainly done most of the pre-season as well, which is good, just building relationships with the midfielders.
How is Tom Hickey settling in here at West Coast?
Yeah, he's good. He's a pretty easygoing fella. He's been around his Gold Coast and then Saints and then now here, so he knows what AFL is all about, and good to have him, and he's seamlessly for him, so it's been good.
You said Oscar Helen in that group. he been doing some ruck work?
Yeah, he was out there today. I mean, he's a tall, very athletic fella, so he can play forward, back, and it's always good for him to have a chop out if needed in the ruck as well. So he's been not entirely, but working a little bit with the mids this pre-season.
Is that something that Adam's talked about, that that's a role for him? Because I guess we all thought of him as a tall forward as opposed to a ruck.
Yeah, maybe with Aussie, not explicitly to the group, but he's tall and he's athletic. So, and the way we churn through our ruckman these days, we always need a few backups. So, yeah, for him it's good. I think it just gives him a bit more versatility and a chance to play more games for him. So it's good.
Actually, a few weeks ago you did a yo-yo test at training and Josh Smith won, you came second. You were filthy. Was that because you didn't realise Josh Smith was still going, or was it filthy because you came second? What happened there?
Oh, no, I was well aware Josh Smith was still going. He's a little Energizer bunny, but no, I was, because you get one warning, and I didn't realise I was on the one warning, so I was sort of playing tactically to extend my yo-yo test, but as I still had a good score, still beat my last year's score, but yeah, it would have been nice if the strength coach had yelled out a little bit louder to me, but that's okay. Had words to him.
And Redden came off in training as well. Is he okay?
Yeah, I saw him with his knee iced. He's in the gym now doing his thing, so I think it was just a knock. He's a pretty durable fella, so I can't see it being too serious. But yeah, we'll see over the next couple of days and see how it pulls up. But he's he's in the gym now, so all good.
And Waterman, with his ankle injury, was having a bit of a walk around today as well. Is that progressing okay?
Yeah, progressing okay. With ankles, because you're on them all the time, they can take a bit of time. You've got to build it up slowly. So, and he's a promising player for us and was training really well before hurting his ankle. So it's just a couple of week build, and then he'll be back with us and ready for the start of the season for sure. So.
And Elliot Yeo was out there getting right into it, like he never had a toe injury at all. He's going good, obviously.
Yep, yeah, he's good to be out. Happy to be out there, given that he was in rehab all before Chrissy and a bit of Jan, and yeah, class player, dual best and fairest. So good to have him out there, and yeah, now he's locked in for the rest of pre-season and hopefully a few pre-season games and the season start. So he'll be fine.
Do you see yourself playing both JLT matches?
Yeah, I think whatever the coaches want. I mean, I'm prepared to. I love getting as much footy in as before the season starts, get your fitness up. So definitely putting my hand up to play.
What about AFLX?
Yeah, I put my name in the hat for that, but I don't know if the AFL are too keen with run with players playing AFLX, so won't be playing that.